Welcome to another episode of Behind the Now. Today I get to chat with coordinator at Principal Entertainment LA, Ethan Rosenzweig. Originally from Chicago, Ethan has been working in LA for the past 5 years. In addition to working at a top talent management company, Ethan also has a podcast called Under the Table Talk. Listen in to learn more about Ethan's journey in entertainment and tips for talent management and artists. Hey, Ethan, thank you so much for doing this with me today. I'm really excited to talk with you, so thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm very excited to talk.
Yeah, awesome. So you are a coordinator at Principal Entertainment LA. Talk about that. Like, how'd you get to where you are? What's your pathway been so far? Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a very cliche story. I based my entire life off of a TV show called Entourage. Watched it when I was 13 years old, and I was kind of like, hey, I'm going to go be E from Entourage. So I already had the name for it. I was like, let's go do this. Graduated college with a sport management degree and decided that was going to be good enough to come to LA with. So I just moved to LA on a whim. My poor mother wasn't expecting it. I'm from Chicago originally, and came out here and hustled. It took me a while to get to where I'm at now. I did a lot of meeting, a lot of networking, and started in reality TV of all places, which was weird, which is a weird backstory that you might get into, who knows. But then, started working at Principal 4 years ago, which is crazy. And just kind of been working my way up. I've always wanted to work with actors. I like being on the developmental end as well as being with established actors. And it's been a fun ride, and I've gotten to work with such cool people. I've gotten to go to such cool events. I've gotten to do things that, being from a Midwest town, you don't really expect to do. So it's been a wonderful experience. But yeah, it was really chasing a TV show dream that kind of came to reality.
Okay, that's incredible. So something about that show really spoke to you, like from a young age. You were like, I want to do that.
Yeah, it was just it looked like a lot of fun. LA looked like a great time, honestly.
Okay, incredible. So talk about, so like when you say reality TV, talk about that a little, because I am curious.
Yeah, I grew up watching The Challenge on MTV, which was which was my favorite show outside of actual television broadcasting and stuff. And I always thought that maybe I'd be on reality TV, and I had a couple opportunities, made it pretty far. I actually was cast for a show within the last couple of years, and I turned it down for personal reasons, as well as I have a career I'm more invested in right now. But initially when I moved to LA, it was kind of hanging out and partying and traveling with these cast members for these shows and putting on live events for fans, meet and greets, variety shows. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of wear and tear on the body. Luckily, I was young, so we can bounce back. But yeah, did some time in reality TV, and I'm glad to be out of it. I'm very much happy that I'm working with celebrities and real talented actors.
So when you say reality TV, you meant do you mean on camera side or behind the scenes or both?
I would say I luckily got to stay more behind the scenes. I had opportunities to be on screen, but I just became the resident partier with cast members, kind of like a wrangler, almost like I would say a PA to a higher degree, plus a PA that's allowed to drink on work days. So we did some cool stuff. We traveled across the country, Denver, Vegas, New York, Boston, and I'd just be at all these shows, and I was orchestrating meet and greets, and it was cool. It was a great time, and kind of my first taste working with talent, even though if you can consider reality stars talent.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's really that's incredible experience though, because even just dealing with all the personalities and people in real time and on your feet, that's cool. For sure. So what type of clients do you work with now mainly? So mainly actors?
Yeah, all actors, film and TV. We tend to lean more towards TV, but I think that's just the nature of the beast these days with all the streaming services. There's just more TV to work with. Obviously, a lot of films out and about, but getting our clients jobs on series regulars is definitely the number one goal. And makes the most money for our company as a whole.
Right. Okay, incredible. So what is your day-to-day like? So I know like you're submitting on breakdowns and casting networks and all the things. But what's something people might not realize, like besides like the technical side of it, you know? And does every day look different? What's kind of, what's your role like? Talk a bit about that, please.
Yeah, totally. It's a great question. Yeah, every day is certainly different. Like you said, the nuts and bolts of it are submitting on breakdown, submitting to casting, and which provides a great opportunity to have this massive network, because while breakdowns are nice, getting to speak to the actual casting directors helps build relationships and gets you more opportunities, at least in the self-taping and audition game for our clients. But I just day to day, always different. It's weird because I'm trying to think of a day to day right now as we're in this writer's strike, and days are really slow. As I mentioned before we came on, there's not a whole lot going on. So at this point, it's like maintenance most of the days, like keeping up with reels and resumes and pitches and making sure everything's okay, making sure our casting network is all set up so we know what projects are still active during this strike versus which aren't, and which are pushing until we're back in business. Things that people, I mean, I feel like everybody probably, like, we are very invested in our clients. It's not like a personal relationship, but we do check in on their well-being, as this is a stressful time for them and everything. So it's just connecting on the day-to-day with the clients at our company and making sure they're okay, because this is going to be a tough time. And this is really where you like manage their expectations on what this strike holds and what jobs are going to look like during the strike and post-strike. So I think that part is challenging, as well as probably not what's written on the page as a talent manager. And maybe it is, but it's that part is definitely growing as we get more and more concerns with how long this strike might go on.
Yeah, like, no, but it's a great point too, because it's true. It's not, there is the practicality of course, like getting actors auditions and tapes and all of that. But you're right. It's interesting that you bring that up, like almost like the mental, just like the personable side of it, where you're just checking in, especially during a time like this where everything's kind of, like on hold, or like everything's up in the air. So yeah, that makes sense how that's like the priority shifts a little bit of like, it becomes this now, Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What advice do you have for someone who wants to do what you're doing? So they want to get into the manager side. I know there's some traditional routes to it. But yeah, like, what do you think? What's your personal,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there is traditional routes, and I will say anybody who's looking to get into it and is listening to me talk right now, like, I didn't do a traditional route. I wasn't a Harvard grad. I wasn't internship guy. Like, there was a lot of fear when I was a college kid about leaving the Midwest. And so I do feel like I was behind the curve, but the most important thing, regardless if you go the traditional route or not, is you gotta network, and you've got to go into meetings with not an expectation of like, I'm going to this meeting, this person better give me the job. No, I'm going to this meeting to wow this person as somebody who they would like to be around socially. Like, if I could tell you anything about an interview, people go in so uptight and so nervous, like they're going to lose the job. You don't have the job to begin with when you walk into the interview. Go in there meeting a new person. Go in there, no expectations, with nothing to lose, because you didn't go in with anything and you might not come out with anything. So to me, it's like, you just have to just build relationships. That's the best way to advance yourself in this field. And again, traditional route is you're probably going to start in the mailroom somewhere, especially at a larger agency or any agency. Management company, they might have reception, they might have floaters, they might have different areas where you can start at, and just network. It's the only way you're going to get an upper hand. Your resume can look flashy. Your dad or mom could have the connections they may need, but if you don't have those things, work for it. That's just what it is. I think it's really important to, losing my train of thought here, but it's really important. Don't give up. Don't quit. Relationships, like, the more you nurture it, the more likely they are to come back. That's how I got my job. I took a meeting that for 8 months, I didn't hear back from this person. I get a random call one day as I'm interviewing at another agency, and they're like, leave that interview, come back here. We have a job opening for you here. It's just an interview. You'll probably get it. Out of nowhere, boom. And I've been working at the company for 4 years. And that's just because I took meetings.
Yeah. You reached out cold. You did an interview. 6 months. You said 8 months or 6 months? 8 months. 8 months later.
8 months. Yeah.
You heard from that interview that you did 8 months before. Yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't even an interview. It was just going in to talk, get to know the person. And shout out Liz York, who is an amazing manager in this industry and has an amazing roster and client list. And I met her through, and it was kind of through change. You'll see when you do these meetings, you just start getting a chain of people. They're like, oh, that was a great meeting. I want you to meet this person. And then they'll be like, I want you to meet this person. And that's how it came to be. So you just keep going along, and somebody's going to see your value and recognize you. And it may be 8 months. It could be 2 days. It could be a week, but they'll hit you up and be like, we can't have you not be at our company. So I got very lucky. And again, it was an awesome experience, and I've been with the company ever since.
Yeah. And I also just want to reiterate how you brought up just like the mindset, the approach to go, because that's true for these types of meetings, for a job at a management or agency, but it's true for auditions. It's true for everything in life, literally. Just the mindset that you have nothing to lose, and I agree. Like, I don't think of as an interview. It's more a conversation. Like, it's a new person you get to meet, a new person to learn about and like connect with. So I love that, because you said that, and that's very true.
It was advice given to me. So, it just set me up for the rest of my career. So it worked, and it's been amazing.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like a conversation, because you never know where it might go. You never know who they may connect you with. You never know when they may come back. And it's always just good to build that list of people and that network.
Right. To just truly be present with people. Like, that's it, Yeah. Like, and that's literally for everything.
Yeah. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, also, some people are nervous. Like I have friends dating and stuff like that, but it's for that too, like some people they're like nervous, but it's like, what is the difference? You're either it's whatever, like, just be present. It's a new person you get to meet, like wherever anything goes is where it goes, Yeah.
I could, and dating is a perfect example of it too. People just put so much pressure on situations that they go into that they do fumble it. Or if you just go in with no expectation and you go in being yourself and just looking to meet somebody, and honestly, if people just go with the idea of like, this is a new person who could become a friend. Like, again, don't build up this storyline in your head beforehand, You don't know the person yet. So the story is to be written. You just have to let it come naturally. You don't need to force the issue.
And that's literally the best advice too for actors, because like, how many times, like, it's hard sometimes, like when you really love the thing, like you really love a project, and like, but to truly let it go. But also the approach for everything, like for your tapes, you're obviously like in acting, I have to be like 1,000,000,000% present. Like, that's just a baseline, but like the overall with the business side too, to take that approach for everything. I just couldn't agree more. And that's like, that could always be said, because like I could always be reminded of it, and anyone can. Yeah.
It's good. And just like some reminders of it on the daily, like before. And by the way, being nervous is natural. Being nervous is good. If you aren't nervous, that means you're not interested, right? People who aren't nervous, they don't care to get the job or get to know the person or get to have nerves. You use it as motivation. Nerves is something you got to overcome. Think of it as a challenge, and it's good to be nervous. That's all I have to say. Like, I know people hate that gut wrenching feeling and the nerves and everything. I promise you, it's a good thing if you're nervous.
Right. It's true. And so like oftentimes in acting, for instance, you can use that, like literally use it depending on what's going on, but also physiologically, apparently when you're nervous and when you're excited, it's the same physiological result like in your body. So like you can trick your brain to thinking you're excited instead of nervous. Have you heard that before or no?
I have not, but it makes a lot of sense with me because my nervous energy is excitement. Like I love public speaking. I love talking in front of people, and I do get those jitters, nerves, but it just turns into like this excitement. It's like I'm on the go and ready to rock. So it makes sense to me. I did not know that before.
Yeah, no, apparently, like I definitely have read that. But it's, so yeah, everything is how you frame it. Like even that, even if you're feeling, And then another thing sometimes is I know I've been on stage or like about to go on stage and you feel your heart, like you feel it, but you could be completely present with it, like observe it. Like, okay, like it's almost like, all right, that's happening. Like, it's there. That's what we're working with. Like, that's just gonna, you know what I mean? But you could still be present with it. It's not like it. Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like the movie moment. It's like everything slows down. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. It's good for everyone. Like at any stage or wherever they're at or whatever their goals are, to just remember that and to just like approach and have just overall faith that like. All you can do is literally what you're doing right now. Like you can do everything that you can possibly do, you can get all the meetings, you can do everything. And then all you can do in those is be present. And and even when you're trying to get the things, of course. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Do you have any specific, clients that you've seen really develop during your time there? That's like anything to which you can speak about or not really And what I mean is, of course, you've seen that, but are there any that come to mind that you can speak about?
I'm trying to think about it. I've had the fortunes of working with partners at our company, so they've worked with pretty large and stuff. So it's been fun to see the progression of clients' careers. I don't know how much developmental work there's been because they've been established. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Anybody I've seen, it's a little tricky again. I don't think that I know that we just finished up showcase season, which is a really big time in terms of finding these developmental clients. And we just signed a student from Juilliard, a student from UC San Diego, a student from Yale. So that's exciting because that's fresh and raw graduates of these MFA programs. And that's the potential to see development and see them grow as we just signed them a couple of weeks ago. Not a lot to see yet, but I wish I had an example for you. I've seen not so much in the developmental space, but I've seen careers really take off. And one of my favorite clients we work with is this woman, Sapita Mawafi, who's in class of 09, which just came out, L Word, and she just did the Apple limited series Blackbird. And so when I first started on the desk, she had done the Deuce, she had done some other projects, but then all of these shows came after her, one after the other, and she said yes to all of them. And now she's on TV everywhere. So it's cool to see that growth. It's cool to see somebody's career really just pop. And again, I don't want to claim it developmental because she had those skills all the way through. But to see that, to me, that was growth in a sense. And it was just wild to see it take off and for her to be a part of all of these projects. So it's really cool to see. And that was fun to be there when she wasn't on those shows to now us doing all the press circuit for these shows and everything. So that's a cool example off the top of my head.
Yeah, definitely. That's really exciting. That's I think that's probably, would you say that's the most exciting aspect about all of this? Or what's the thing that just what's the thing you absolutely love about it?
She's on every billboard in LA right now. The billboard outside my apartment right now is her and another client of ours, Brian J. Smith. And it's just, that part's cool. The realization of all the hard work it took for them to get the role, for us to finalize deals and get it all together. And just the end result, right? Yes, we enjoy the process. It may be hectic. It may be stressful at times. It could be exciting. Premieres, going to set and all that. but it's really like when you get the chance to just like look back on everything and see where we are now to where we were 4 years ago, that's the way I at least look at it. Since I'm just doing my timeline, it's really cool. The look back and this is where we are now thoughts are like, wow, this is awesome. It is rewarding. It's exciting. And I do, again, have awesome clients we work with it's a true pleasure to see them succeed. And that's the name of the game for managers. We want to see you succeed. We're not, we love making money and everything. Yeah. But we do love the passion and success that comes with it for clients and the individual, the personal side of things. We want people to be happy and proud of what they accomplished.
Yeah, I love that. So awesome. What is your pitching process normally like? And I mean, like, is it normally emails, phone calls? What's kind of like, and I'm sure that also depends from client to client, but what's the overall process like on your end?
For going for a specific role on a project?
Yeah. Yep. So or unless you want to answer it differently, but yeah, in my mind, I suppose it was like the project comes out, like you have all the roles there, and now you're pitching your client to get seen for it. But if you want to, if there's like, you can answer it differently as well.
That's perfect. Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that. So the roles will come out, whether it be breakdowns or whether we see a deadline article or we just know a project starting up. What we'll do is we'll go to breakdowns, or if not, we will create a list of the clients that match the role. We'll either submit. If we don't submit, then what we're going to do is we're going to send out an email to casting with our best ideas. And then when we really, really like something that we don't want any chance of it being missed and we need the self-tape and we want this, we get on the phone, we'll call casting, we'll talk it out with them being like, this is why we think this role works. I think it goes great with the story. It's definitely best to be fully aware of the project. So reading the script initially before doing your submission ideas just makes you sound better to casting. And then, we pitch it away. Yeah. I would say, I mean, I worked for I worked for people who were killers and got every tape available. I mean, I very rarely saw we don't think they should tape. So it's being selective, but in being aware of where all your clients best fit. And so it's getting on the phone, like you said, emailing, and then at the bare minimum, at least submitting them on breakdowns. Okay. So it depends. So it sounds like, at least submitting, and then probably if the client's more, has, certain skills or something about the client that makes him like a even more perfect fit, then you would go further for that. Is that correct? Is that correct? Like also just depending on the stature of the client as well, what they've done, if they don't need to self-tape. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go straight to meetings. We'll sometimes pitch for an offer, hopefully. So
yeah, of course. But that's awesome. That's really, that's fun. And then, I'm always curious. So what's the company culture sort of like, if you could speak to that?
Yeah, it's the luckiest company culture in the industry. I mean, you hear all the horror stories of staplers being thrown, arguments, phones being chucked, broken glass, a lot of yelling, all that. And there's absolutely zero of that at Principal. It is absolutely insane how peaceful it is at Principal Entertainment, how from the very top, from our owners all the way down to the newest assistants, we all have lunch together. We all share. We talked about Vanderpump Rules for some reason the other day, which for me being in reality TV, I have no idea what's going on, but apparently there's a lot of scandals and we're learning about it in the office. So yes, it's very calm. Everybody, the door is always open for anybody. Conversations are open for everybody. It's a really cool environment. Honestly, I've never heard anybody get yelled at in 4 years of that company. Mistakes happen. The understanding that mistakes will happen, just fixing it, making sure you don't do it over again. And it's just, it feels safe. It's a very safe company to work at. People who are looking out for you, taking care of you, and respect that you're doing your work and trying to make the company a better place. So it's a very, very safe, comfortable working experience and culture there for sure.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love, yeah, that's so
Yeah.
awesome because, yeah, you actually do hear totally different types of like company cultures and like you
Oh
know,
yeah.
so it's interesting. So it sounds like obviously super collaborative and supportive and yeah, wow,
Totally.
that's great. That's really cool.
No, it's awesome, and it's not even to protect my own ass. I would say that about
No,
Principal
I know. I was
Entertainment all the
thinking
way
that.
through.
Yeah.
They're really good people, and that's their main focus is how the culture is there. So I
Yeah.
love it. I'm
I
appreciative of all the people I've gotten to work.
Yeah, how amazing. I laughed because I was actually thinking like, well, I was thinking like like if it was like a situation that wasn't like that, I would have put you on the spot and then like, you know what I mean? I just kind of realized that.
Totally.
But yeah, I guess I had a feeling that you like I think I had a feeling before that like how you guys work and everything sounded really positive. And so
Yeah.
it's interesting to like if for people that are interviewing or are looking to work somewhere to also consider like the type of work environment they want to be in. Because we did talk about before kind of your mental approach to it and everything, but to also be like, what do I like? You know, like what is who makes me feel
Yeah.
good? Yeah. So that's why I was thinking that, but I thought that was funny. Like, wow, that's a little risky, the question. Like it could be.
I
Yeah.
I wish I had like a scary answer for you, like,
Oh
oh,
no,
over
I
at
know.
CAA,
I
this
love
guy,
that.
like, I don't. I mean, you should definitely try somebody at one of those big agencies because if they say anything that I say, you can call BS on it because it's definitely more intense over. I've heard horror stories from other assistants at different agencies, so
Yeah.
I know what the culture's like on other places.
Oh my gosh, that's really that's funny. I know. I'm like thinking I should be aware of that like in general. All right. But yeah, I love that's really beautiful though. I can tell obviously it's like very authentic and like yeah, I could tell that from the beginning that you truly love what you're doing there. So that's great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Is there anything that comes to mind? Think of actors listening to this. What can actors be doing right now? I mean, there's always, yeah, if you want to, so there's always meeting
Yeah,
people,
like
making
just
relationships, but yeah.
yeah. Are you referring more to like during the strike time and everything?
Yeah, yeah. Or in general. Like that's always
In
also
general?
great to hear from different people. Yeah.
Totally. Absolutely. Well, all levels of actors. I mean, some of our biggest clients are doing this right now, going back to acting classes.
Mhm.
It's never a shame to go work on your
Yeah.
craft, perfect it, get practice. I mean, the best sports or the best athletes in the world practice every day. And so being in acting classes always helps.
Mhm.
Getting self tapes. I know that sounds like a weird thing, but like it's not even if it's a self tape appointment, but having people who can get you sides just so you can
Yeah.
freshen up and do
Yeah.
self tapes, feel normal in front of a camera because it's tough because casting offices aren't necessarily bringing people back into the office right now. So self tapes are kind of the way of life. So getting as much practice as possible is great. And if you don't have a reel, creating a
Mm.
self tape reel with your best takes sometimes can help if you're looking for
Yeah.
representation and everything. But it's definitely, for me, it's like any other profession or craft or talent. It's just sharpening it up, working
Yeah.
on it, being collaborative, working on your own projects it just keeps your creative juices flowing. And like I
Mhm.
said, being in classes again, trying different, like maybe go a comedy route or go more
Right.
dramatic, however it may be. It's just sharpening all the tools to make you versatile when it comes time to have that appointment or meet
Yeah.
with an agent or meet with a manager. That would be, yeah, my bet. And then, like you said, networking, meeting, always being out in the town in LA is as kind of tough as that may be because the social scene is rough and it's a lot and there's a lot going on and everybody's got an opinion of themselves being better than they may be. It's a tough scene. Just being out and about is good.
Yeah.
Meeting a bunch of people is very important too, because you never know what someone might be doing and who you
Yeah.
bump into can help you with your next step of your career or next project or something. So being social and practicing your craft definitely would be the two most important things I think you guys can be doing during this time.
Yeah, beautiful. I couldn't agree more. And like when it comes to the social part, I also just think, to like go with the things that you genuinely are drawn to, you know, like socially, because like don't for it, like also. I love that.
Yeah, and that's it might be a little tough.
Wait, so one more time? Sorry, it cut out a little maybe.
I would say a night out at Hyde in West Hollywood might be tough, but yeah, some nice social activities that aren't as extreme or loud music or booze. Always great.
There's often like a lot of different types of things going on, like film festivals too, screenings, and like in terms of you said like getting sides, you can always like there's so many things online. First of all, I have like piles and piles of sides and stuff at this point because sometimes I throw it away, but sometimes I just don't throw it away. Like maybe I'll look at like whatever. So it's like piles, and like scenes and stuff. And also one thing that people don't, one thing that I'll say too is the library is amazing. The library for getting plays and screenplays, everything. And like, it's amazing because you can just take it. You can like make a copy if you want of a specific scene. You can keep it. You can whatever. I actually never say that. I just thought of it's a good thing for people to realize because I think people forget. Great. Yeah.
And with the strike going on right now, theater is huge. Do theater right now. Be a part of theater. Go to shows. Go to plays. Find a way to be in like Shakespeare in the Park somehow. I've seen way too much Shakespeare in the Park, but it hones your craft. Like theater is that's a great thing to bring up. Yeah, definitely. Like I have a group like that that we're always like meeting and working on stuff, you know, and it's like, I really love it. It's like the consistent. So that's cool. It's amazing.
All right, Ethan, I'm going to ask you a few just fun, random questions, all right?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, what is your horoscope sign, and does that mean anything to you?
That's funny. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
I don't really know anything about it. I'm going to be honest with you. The only things I know is that apparently it makes me super stubborn. And to a degree, I am stubborn. I think most people in my life would agree with that there are things I will not budge on. So maybe it is accurate. But that's pretty much all I know.
I agree. Because I don't think it defines like whatever, you know, like overall, because there's like so many people in the world that are Capricorns and all of them are completely different, you know? But there might be, but I think there's probably, I think there could be some truth to there's truth to it overall, I think, but whatever. Okay. If you could, if you were a professional athlete, what sport would it be and why?
Ooh. So I was an athlete, so I love this question so much.
Right.
I would love to say basketball because it's my favorite sport to play, but you're asking me if I could be a professional athlete, what would it be? It would be golf. For longevity and money purposes, I think you have the highest potential earnings in golf, as well as for my body and health and the longevity of playing. I would like to do that.
Yeah, I love that. That's actually, I don't hear golf a lot. That's great.
It's any athlete who didn't make it big time, that is the answer you'll get, because I love football and basketball. I played it through high school and everything. But I know my body would not hold up in those leagues. So golf I would have loved to have been a professional golfer.
Okay. So what was the sport that you did as an athlete? Like what was your main sport?
Yeah. Football and basketball. I know I don't look like it, but it's, those were my two sports I played. I've tried everything, but the ones I excelled in the most were those two.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah. Okay. And I think, I would say like there's a lot of parallels between like a team sport and what you do now and what we all kind of do, because they're both very collaborative and And like, you know, like the result, like collaborating for this thing, this like creation, you know? Yeah. Do you find that there's,
Driving for the common goal for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And then this podcast is called Behind the Now, but I always like to emphasize be the now. It's highlighted in the logo. So how do you be the now? And that's up to your interpretation. I like most people, like, how do you be present? But however you want to interpret that, really.
Yeah, that was how I was going to interpret it. It's a great question, and honestly, one everyone should ask themselves every day. Be the now is focusing on where you're at this point. Don't look too far into the future. Don't dread on things from your past. If you do look backwards, appreciate the memories. Don't go into dark memories, and be focused on now, because, you know, not every day is promised. And I'm not a philosophical cliche built guy, but really this year I've taken it on myself to enjoy each day. I had this podcast I was going to come on and do today, and I was excited about doing that and having this opportunity. I look forward to it. I'm being here now and excited to be conversating with you, and I'll have plans later down the line, and I won't have to worry about that until they come up. So be present with everything you're doing. Give everybody you're talking to your best attention, and just enjoy each minute, each hour, each day, because not everyone gets that opportunity. And just fill it up with happiness. I know I'm not telling you to be happy all the time, but just do your best to like fulfill yourself each and every day. Don't waste a day, for sure.
I love that. And you're also speaking to gratitude, right? Like, that's very true too. Like you have a list, like you have your plan for the day, and your head's just like it's easy to like just go through the plan, like just trying to like just to complete it. But like it's so important to just enjoy. You're right. You might not get to the second half of your plan. Like you don't know what's going to happen every second, you know? So that's beautiful. Yeah.
Right.
And talk more. So you have your own podcast. Tell our listeners like where they can find that, what's that about, and anything else that, like for our like listeners to find you.
Yeah, so I do have a podcast, definitely on the raunchier side. It's with my best friend of over a decade, the first person I ever met in college. We do a show called Under the Table Talk. And it can be found on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere you find it. Thank you to the Believe Podcast Network, who brought us on as hosts. Give it a listen. It's just dealing with real life situations and problems. And it's a great perspective from a female and a great perspective from a male. And we just go after it. I mean, it's a fun time. And if you want to listen to that kind of stuff, feel free to go listen to it. I'm on Instagram at EthanRose4. I always forget my own tag because I'm not a social media superstar, but yeah, no, that's, if you want to listen, go ahead. Other than that, listen to this podcast, because what a wonderful host you are, Jenna. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak on your podcast.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you for doing it. And so everyone can go look up Ethan. That's amazing. So they have your handle, and is your podcast on your, like if they go to your Instagram, they can find it? Yeah.
It's also at Under the Table Talk. I think that we just have the basic handle there too. Enjoy. It's going to make you cringe a little bit, people who listen to it, but hey, it's just real life topics and situations that come up, and it's a fun time. It's always fun to have a podcast with your best friend. You never know where the conversations might go.
Yeah, I love it. It sounds very real and like gritty, which I love that. So that's good. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much. Have an incredible weekend, and thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
Of course. You have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for having us.